Hey guys, so Yojo June just recently happened, and I figured I'd put a video out because one, I talked about it for quite some time that I was going to do a video, but two, I wanted to make sure I got this out before all the endless other people's videos who have already been blowing up the internet talking about how they hate everything that was shown. Let's go ahead and get my opinion out right now. First and foremost, a lot of the stuff that we did see in the live stream had already been leaked, and people had their various opinions. And I was of the mind state like, I'm just gonna wait until they reveal it to make sure it's as bad or not as bad as everybody seems to make it seem. So, as far as like the first things that they revealed was like the upcoming four-figure wave, which consists of Iron Grenadier Bat, the Iron Grenadier Trooper or Iron Grenadier, also Alpine, which people are kind of on the fence about. It's kind of 50-50. And then the one that everybody hates is the version 2 of Storm Shadow. I'm on the record, and I've said multiple times behind the scenes, is that the original, the retro version 2 Storm Shadow sucked. So I didn't expect a lot out of this one. I mean, it had this weird early concept of digital camo before digital camo, I guess, or right at the invention of digital camo, and it looked really, really bad. One of the main things about why this particular one looked bad is because the hood covered the majority of his face. So it's like the mask and like a little sliver of eyes that you can see. It just looks stupid. It looked better in some of the actual professional promo shots that they put up, but it's still not something I was going to pick up. And for everybody who loved the version 2 Storm Shadow, I'm very, very surprised that those are some of the people who really hate this version when it is literally the exact same thing except for some shin guards that are the wrong color. Everything else is exactly the same. And talking about the same four-figure wave, the Iron Grenadier Bat is just a new bat with a gold color scheme and a different head, just like they did with the Arctic Bat. And it seems like that's just going to be their thing going forward. The Iron Grenadier looks like it's an amalgamation of two different releases, the 25th anniversary one and another Collectors Club one that they kind of melded together so they could do a long jacket but give them more articulation. I'm not a big fan of the Iron Grenadiers, which is why I didn't get Metalhead. I'm not gonna get Destro and his Despoiler. That just wasn't my era. I tapped out at Deke. But so the rest of that wave, I really don't care about. The Alpine looked okay. It was disappointing. It didn't come with a backpack since he is a mountaineer. That you figured he'd have a backpack. He does come with a lot of stuff, and maybe they just had to cut costs and they had to cut the backpack for all the other stuff that they gave with him. I'd prefer they got rid of his weapons and just kept his climbing gear as opposed to cutting the backpack. Other things that they revealed in here is they revealed the new Mad Marauder stuff that's coming out. Not a big fan of that. The only Sergeant Slaughter group that I really care about are the rejects that from the movie, where he had Red Dog and the old Crimson Viper. It was like, that's the only one I care about. I don't really care about the Mad Marauders. I didn't really care about when Blowtorch came out. I only actually have him because he was on sale at Ross. And I got him at Ross for like $5. So that's probably gonna be my only Mad Marauder I get unless these end up at Ross, which for the most part, I feel like they probably are. The Sergeant Slaughter one comes with a bunch of accessories. So he's a deluxe. I already own 2 Sergeant Slaughters. I don't need a third. This is gonna be more expensive than the ones that I already bought. The only Sergeant Slaughter I really want from this point is probably the one that's gonna come with the Triple T, and that one should have the USA shirt. That's the only other Sergeant Slaughter that I really want. It does come with dumbbells. Basically comes with the same loadout that Big Boa came with, plus his itty bitty big. I hate that everybody's calling. He's coming with a duffel bag. When Sarge made that reference in the movie, he's gonna put your stuff in an itty bitty ditty bag,
or in a ditty bag, an itty bitty ditty bag.
He wasn't specifically talking about the duffel bag, but that's what everybody's calling this thing. So I guess that's what we'll call it. It does come with a duffel bag. Comes with dumbbells and a pair of blue boxing gloves, which would be great if you have the Big Boa. So now Big Boa actually has somebody he can actually box without you having to buy that loot crate thing where it had all the extra accessories, because the boxing gloves don't quite match up. But anyway, that's what's going on with that particular one. So the 2-pack set comes with Low Light and Spirit, which is cool. I didn't get Spirit the first time. I do have Low Light, so I'm gonna need a second Low Light, and I definitely don't need a Mad Marauders Low Light. Yeah, it's not for me. It's going to be a big pass for me. The things that I really was excited about is that they showed that we're going to get a tuned version of Cobra Commander when they went into the retro line. Now, For the retro line, the original one that came with the Hiss was probably the retro one that they normally do. They do a retro one, they make it exact to the actual toy that was originally released. And we know with the His Tank one, they came with the messed up Mickey Mouse logo. So we figured we were just going to get that one. I'm very, very shocked that they actually went tune version, because that's what the one I really, really wanted. I want the one with the stripe on the helmet with the long gloves. That's more for me, and that one will probably be my standing Cobra Commander. And now I don't have to open up the His Tank one. I've been holding off on opening that one up to see if we're actually going to get one of these things out. I know there was rumors out there that we're maybe going to get a hooded one. I didn't think that was really going to happen, so this is exactly what we're getting. The other retro that they brought up was the fact that we're getting a retro Cobra Trooper, which is basically the Cobra Island Trooper without having a little flak jacket on the front of him, which I guess will free up some more articulation. He looks like he is the upper portion of the Cobra Island and then the lower portion of the Cobra Officer in a lighter color, which matches closer to the animation. I don't need any more troopers. I have a ton of troopers from Python Patrol to Crimson to the regular versions of the original classified versions of the troopers. I'm done with troopers unless it's a specialized trooper for something else. Speaking of specialized troopers for something else, they did reveal the Stinger. Now, the Stinger out there, we knew was going to come because Vamp got released, and the Stinger is just basically a remodded, repurposed version for Cobra. So this one's going to come with like the gold wing doors. It's going to come with the roof. It's going to come in a different color scheme. It's going to come with a Stinger driver. The Stinger driver is going to be in gray, and it's going to match what it was in the original box. So I'm excited for that. So if I'm gonna have another trooper, it's gonna be the driver. I do hate that. I saw from Pixis Design and Gridiron Designs, they have a roof for the Vamp, and it's open. It's open on one side. I thought maybe the Hasbro was gonna do something similar to that, but they kind of stuck to what the original one looked like, and it's kind of closed off. So it does make it feel like if you put a figure in there, you're not really even gonna see the figure anyway, because the doors block all the view, the roof blocks the view, and the window on it, it's tinted. So, I mean, basically, I don't really need to have a driver in there. If anything, I have the driver's probably gonna be standing outside or manning the missile rack that they have on the top. So now this one comes with a set of missiles with flame effects, but it also has a lip and peg holes for an actual figure to stand there. And it looks like you can remove that and maybe move it over to the Vamp, which is something that they probably should have done for the Vamp to begin with, because a lot of people have been buying third-party stuff just to make that stuff happen. I'm trying to think what else I might be thinking about retro. I think, last thing, I'm sorry, I had to write notes because it was a lot for me to remember and I was surely going to forget. The last thing was the name only reveal. I thought we were going to get some renders of upcoming stuff, and maybe they're just saving that for later in the month, but we did get a name only reveal, and it was Footloose. Not a big fan of Footloose. Even though I'm a big fan of the cartoon, wasn't a big fan of Footloose. I mean, it's cool that they're continuing to bring out that line, and for people who are fans of Footloose, I'm sure you're excited about it. Maybe if they give me a render, I'd be a little bit more excited about it, and maybe if it looks super cool. I mean, I'm not a big person for the Joes. I'm really for a Cobra. So for a Joe, you really kind of have to be somebody that speaks to me, or you gotta look awesome. And right now, like I said, what they revealed so far didn't look awesome. So I'm kind of curious what this Footloose is actually gonna look like. I'm sure people are gonna go out there and kind of kit bash their own and kind of give us an example what it might look like, but hopefully maybe this month they'll reveal the renders. I'm assuming more stuff's gonna come out for Yojo June. I'm gonna maybe post it up here. I'm not sure I'm gonna do a whole nother video unless it's something big. Maybe I'll wait till HasLab comes out, because depending on what the HasLab is, probably the Rattler I will get. Anything else, it's gonna be it's really gonna be hit or miss if I actually decide to spend that amount of money again. So with that being said, I'll check you guys later.